Hello, Mr. Chu here with Bear Algebra. Let's talk about multiplying binomials using the distributive property. So there's actually four easy ways that I can show you how to multiply binomials. But my introduction, my first video on this, will be using the distributive property. So if I have these two binomials, and why are these binomials? They are binomials because I've got two terms, which makes it bi, and they both, two terms, bi. Bicycle has two wheels. Binomials is a polynomial with two terms. So the first way I teach this is to take this first term and multiply it by the second binomial. And you put that in parentheses. And then since we're adding, we're going to put plus. And then we take the second term and multiply it by that second parentheses. All right. So now, if you remember, the distributive property means that I'm going to take the 2x and multiply it by the 3x. And then I'm going to take the 2x and multiply it by the minus 4. So I have my 2x times 3x. And just so that it shows up a little better, let me use a different color here. And then we take that 2x times the minus 4. And then we're going to add it to, and now we're using the distributive property here again, 3 times 3x plus 3 times minus 4. Okay, so now we're going to take the 2 times the 3, which is 6. X times x is x squared, plus the 2 times the negative 4 is negative 8, and those are x's, plus 3 times 3x is 9x, plus 3 times negative 4 is negative 12. So now if you look, I have what's called like terms here. So these like terms are going to be combined. So I just bring this down, 6x squared, and then I have negative 8x and 9x, which is just 1x or x, and then negative 12. And this usually would be written, instead of plus and negative 12, most books will write this as minus 12. So that is using the distributive property. Now what you're going to do when you learn all these other methods, you're going to start doing a lot of this in your head. Example 2. Using the distributive property, I take the first one, 3y, first term, times that parentheses, plus, now I'm going to take the second term times the parentheses. All right, and you remember what we do here? Distributive property. So that's 3y times 2y plus, and let's change that minus to plus a negative 6z. It just makes it much easier. And then you do your 3y times your negative 6z. Now on the right side, you're going to do 4z times 2y plus 4z times negative 6z. All right. Now, we're going to take, and 3 times 2 is 6. Y times y is y squared. Plus 3 times negative 6 is negative 18. YZ. Plus 4 times 2 is 8. And ZY can be written as YZ so that they're going to have like terms here. That's called the community property of multiplication. And 4 times negative 6 is negative 24. Z times Z is Z squared. So when I look at this polynomial, I see that I have like terms here. So I have 6y squared plus negative 18yz plus 8yz is negative 10yz plus negative 24z squared. And just like I said here, from the green line to the red, most books will write this as 6y squared minus 10yz minus 24z squared. All right, so distributive property is not that bad. You just have to break the binomial down into 2 terms multiplied by that second binomial, and then combine like terms. All right, so I'm going to offer a couple problems for you to work. I call these challenge problems. And the more you do these binomials, the easier they're going to get. And I'm telling you, there's 4 different methods I'm going to show you. And then you can decide which one's easier for you. So here are the challenge problems. So challenge 1, use a distributive property to multiply these 2 binomials. 2a minus 5b times 4a minus 7b. So take your 2a times this, change this to plus the opposite, and your negative 5b times this, then combine like terms. Challenge 2, use a distributive property. 3m plus 4n and 3m minus 4n. This is a special case. Something is going to happen here. So you take your 3n times that second binomial plus 4n times the second binomial. Use the distributive property and simplify. Pause this and work these. And then once you turn it back on, there'll be a link up here. And that link will be to the video where I work these out step by step so that you can check your answers and see how well you did. Remember, I'm Mr. Chu. This is Bear Algebra, and I want to help you learn the math. See you next video.